Oh God, the timer is clocked down. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. Hold on. I'm sorry, guys. I need to put a hat on. Actually, my hair is doing something else. We'll get there. Oh. All right then. Let's get going. Hello! Hello, welcome to FPL Mate. Your best mate for fantasy Premier League content. And I'm such a good friend, I'm such a good mate, that I'm ill today. So, don't worry, I'm wearing a mask so I don't infect anyone. Don't want to be infecting anyone with my illness. So there's a lot of you here, and we need to be very, very careful. Have I got COVID? I don't know for sure. I don't. Are we still testing for that these days? Not sure. Haven't got any test strips, unfortunately. But don't worry. Nobody will get ill. Nobody will get ill because I've got the mask on. Right. How are we all? Hopefully feeling better than me. I can't lie. I feel a little bit better now I'm up and out of bed. So I'm glad I'm here. I am happy. Thank you for having me. Thank you for inviting me for today. And we could talk about FPL. I mean, that's always a guarantee to cheer anyone up. Like, FPL's back, right? I'm gonna have a soother. To soothe myself. And here it begins in the chat. The Saka questions. We will give you everything. Music Kiwi says, why the mask if you're by yourself? I'm not by myself. I'm with all of you guys. I'm with my pals. I'm with my mates. Soother goes in the mouth. And we're going to try and make this stream as bearable as possible. Oh well. Let's get going. Jonas is going to get a shout out. Yes, you can. Alexis says, good morning. Newcastle says, I'll put you on mute, so if you sneeze, I don't get infected. That's a good idea. I'll warn you guys if I'm about to start coughing or sneezing. If you just turn off the stream briefly or mute, then you'll be absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. And no one will get ill. But there we go. Right, we're in. We're starting. We're beginning. Pull for the mask off. Alright. Should I take the mask off and risk infecting the chat? Being late to the stream because of being ill isn't good enough. You're so right, Darren. If you guys want me to infect you, I will. You have to vote in the chat. We've got a super chat from Abu Jumua. Says, I pray for you to get better soon, mate. Thank you, man. I really do appreciate it. I'm really not that bad. I'm exaggerating a little bit. You guys want the mask off as well. I'm not that bad. All right. Let's see what we've got going on. Hides the tash. Keep the mask on. Charming, Malk. Charming. I think the tash is a vibe. All right. Should we show you what we got? Because we've had some. We've had some investigative work done from FPL Tommy Gun, who is an absolute legend for this. He does this all the time. He's sometimes in chat as well. But he's been down to the Arsenal team hotel and is investigating. He's doing some investigative journalism to see who is with the squad. We do have a few players who we think might be there. So, someone asked in the chat about Martinelli. Hopefully you can see Martinelli right there. Good stuff. Martinelli with the squad. Let's continue on. Oh, the volume is on. I was going to turn that off. We don't need to hear the volume. We don't need to hear people screaming. We've got Martinelli. What else have we got? We've got some other players. I don't know who that bald guy is. Pep Guardiola. What are you doing in the Arsenal camp? Come to offer some tips, perhaps? Let's see, is that... I'm not sure who that was. Calafiori there. Benny White. Kai Havertz. Is that Kai? Are we happy with that? Kai Havertz with the team. I think that's good news. By the way, I once met Kai Havertz. He is crazy tall. Like, I didn't realise how tall he is. The guy is enormous. Like, I'm a fairly tall guy myself. And he is just a giant. I think he's like 6'5". Crazy. You guys have voted for the mask off, so we can end that poll. Matt with the super chat says, Diaz to Johnson, first team. Jackson to Solanke, second team. You shouldn't admit to having multiple teams, my friend. This is the kind of thing that gets your accounts banned. But Diaz to Johnson, would I do it? Maybe. Jackson to Solanke, I think I would do, though. Solanke is the one player that I don't have in my team who I wish I did have. And, like, there's still some temptation to do it, but I don't think I'm going to. But, yeah, I'll do the Jackson to Solanke move. Diaz to Johnson, I don't know. It's kind of a bit of a coin toss. Maybe use your own intuition on that one. Now, anyway, we need to find Saka. That's not him there. Oh. So that's Saka being smuggled in. Oh, we've seen this before. Saka is being smuggled in a... What are they called? Trolley? A baggage trolley? Potentially there. HBK Neil says, Sanchez, Trent, Vardy, all in my team. Should I deal with any one of them or roll my one free transfer? No other issues in my team. I would argue that none of them are issues. Goalkeeper transfers, rarely worth it. Trent is actually absolutely fine. Jamie Vardy, great fixture, absolutely fine as well. Am I chewing a sweet? It's a soother. It's a throat sweet. It's for my throat because we've got to talk for an hour. Talking for an hour is not easy when you're ill. So we've got to make sure the throat is in tip-top condition. Unless anyone wants to volunteer to help my throat, it's going to have to be the way. But HBK Neil, your team is looking good, my friend. Roll that transfer. But Music Kiwi says, in the trolley, it's Taylor Swift for the halftime show. Yep, good. Taylor Swift sneaking in there. In the trolley. Oh, who's in the next trolley? I think it's Kylian Mbappe ready for his Arsenal debut. Now, who's this young man? Well, another super chat from Nick Hall says, Hi Dan, owe my 42 points in Gameweek 7. Mate, get well soon. It could be worse, man. 2 free transfers planned, start in 11. Flecken, Gabriel, Robbo, Aina, Burmo, Saka, Salah, Saka, Dibbling, DCL, Haaland, Solanke. Team looks good, my friend. Team looks good. Oliver says FPL late. Sounds like you're behind on your stream, man. We've been around for a while. Is this Saka? That's the big question. That could very well be Saka. He's about the right height. Got the right trainers on. The right backpack. Not limping at all, which maybe means it's not him. But I think it very well could be. Some people saying it's Timber. Is that Cope? Shah, let me ask you a question. Because you think it's Timber. Do you have Saka in your team? Because I have a feeling the people saying it's Timber are people who don't have Saka in their team, and it's hopium. Lux says Sterling. Why does Saka not want to be seen then? Probably because Arteta has asked him to due to those dark arts. I think he's quite Saka-ish. He seems... Saka's at the start of the video. Where? That's not Saka. Neither is that. Kind of hard to tell. That is... I'm looking really close up. I don't think either of those... Neither of those are Saka. That's... I actually can't tell. Any massive Arsenal fans? I don't know, that probably should be me. Can tell me who these Donnies are. They're probably like some younger players. But neither of those are Saka. Nicole says, my transfer Saka and Evan Nilsson to Brennan and Solanke. I like that. Ah, Skelly and Nwaneri. Yeah, that is Nwaneri. You can tell by his little beard. Yeah, his little beard going on there. Yeah, I see it. Yeah, that is Nwaneri. And that's probably Skelly. None of the other players are Saka. Definitely not. I honestly think this is your best bet. I think this is your best bet. It's interesting. I think there's a good chance they both play. Kabalash says, Dan, check 15 seconds in the vid. Is that Saka in front of HAVERTZ? No. As in here, that's Ben White. That's HAVERTZ, right? That's Ben... Is that HAVERTZ? Yeah. Ben White. Calafiori. Can't tell who that is, but it's not Saka. The only way you can tell certain players is by their hair. Like, Calafiori. Without the hair, you wouldn't even know it was him. Ben White's got a distinctive look. And I guess HAVERTZ because he's so tall. Son or Maddison using a wild card. Honestly, I think I'd rather go for Maddison. I'm not big on the Son hype. Can't lie. If that Saka wears Timber, well, Timber is also potentially injured as well. That's not Saka. We try and figure out who it is, so, but it's not Saka. I think who's in the squad. He was at the start. It must be like a youth-ish player. You think that's Saka? Nah. It's not. Dan, please bring back the blackcurrant squash. We've got orange today. Yeah, people seem to think that the hooded man is either Saka or Timber. Wow, look at this. We can tell by the hair. Yeah, but a few players have similar hair to Saka, to be fair. Like, these hairstyles are not dissimilar to Saka's. That one is not... To be fair, this style is probably not Saka. I could probably tell you this is not Saka. Sterling and Trossard are the same height. Yeah, good point. So yeah, you can tell this guy's taller than Trossard. Or Saka, about 5'10", 5'11", which would be about right. But then Timber is 5'10", 5'11" as well. Oh well. Right, let's see if there's any other news. Anyone else talking about this topic? Alright, let's see if anyone's done any better investigating than me. Excuse me, sorry guys. People seem to be convinced that this is him. Bruv, it's the New Balance Saka sponsor. Yeah, because he was wearing them for England. I wonder if we can get a picture when he was in the England camp. Maybe it'd be on England football Instagram. We saw him wear. We saw the same white trainers. Ugh, I can't be bothered to sign him. You're gonna have to trust me on that one. You're gonna have to trust me. The problem is it's a 5:30 kickoff. So I don't know. We're not going to get definitive news on whether Saka starts or not. I have a good idea that he will, though. Let's if we just find the full quote, because I think it actually seemed pretty positive. Where did we see it? Because I saw a full quote that sounded quite positive. So this isn't the exact quote. I did watch the video earlier, but I don't think I can show it. But yeah, he said that Saka has been training the last couple of days, which is very positive. Semba says, but bruv, you said Saka starts not long ago. No, I've not. I have never said Saka starts, but I have said that I think he will. I think it's more likely that. I think it's more likely that Saka and HAVERTZ start than don't. To be honest. Someone asked about Mazraoui. I think Mazraoui is likely to start, given that well, Mazraoui is fit, he's available, he has been training, and also we've seen that Shaw is still not ready, so I would imagine Mazraoui starts. Let's see, can we get anything else? Nothing yet. But it's kind of up to you guys. Like, my situation is, I think I'm probably just gonna stick out and hope for the best. I do think Saka's got a very good chance, and I think HAVERTZ has got a very good chance as well. So, yeah, I think I'm going to stick it out, to be honest. Plus, I'm not really sure where I would go if I was to transfer Saka out. If I didn't have a Johnson or maybe Maddison, I would maybe go there and get a Spurs attacker. But both Saka and HAVERTZ, if they've been training, they're with the squad, I think that's probably good enough to suggest that they will play. So I think I'm rolling personally. I'm not going to be reactive. Eric says, what about Palmer? If I was to sell Saka, I probably would sell for Palmer for the long term. But I might, you know, Palmer's potential compared to Saka's potential, even if you consider the chance of Saka being injured, I think my chances with Saka against Bournemouth are probably better than Palmer against Liverpool. So for that reason, I'll probably stick. I'm very tempted to do Havertz to Solanke. Very tempted. But it doesn't really fit with my no wildcard plan. If we got news that one of Saka and Havertz are definitely out, then that would obviously change things. But I just can't see that happening. Can't see it happening. The only way I would really think about selling Havertz or Saka is to do something I really wanted to do. And maybe that is Havertz to Solanke, to be fair. I mean, I could, but I mean, like, there's nothing wrong with Bournemouth. And Arsenal will score against everyone. You'll rarely find a game where Arsenal don't score, and Havertz is going to be heavily involved with that. Although I do think Solanke is probably the better pick over the next 4. Is he better by 4 goals? Well, 4 points, really. So 1 goal. I'm not sure. I'm just not sure. It's really tempting, though. Thoughts on Haaland triple captain? I'd wait till next week when De Bruyne is back and they play at home to Southampton. So no, I would not triple captain Haaland this week. I'd wait. Because next week you have a better fixture and you've got De Bruyne back. That's great news. You know what? I'm a little bit tempted to play Johnson as well. Let's move him up on bench level. Now that we know Tuanzebe is out. Jota to Mbermo or just roll? I think I would roll. I don't think there's anything wrong with Jota for this week. Next week, you probably reconsider that though. How is it the audio on this channel is always so soft compared to the rest? Is this something I really need to sort out? I think it's because I keep my microphone quite far from my head. If I move the microphone closer, it might be better. But I am also ill, in fairness. Audio properties. It's already at max. I think it's because this microphone is designed to be like here. So maybe I just need to move my microphone. I'll do that next time. For now, just turn the volume up. Yeah, I'm not gonna leave it there. I'll move my microphone so it's underneath me rather than above me because I can't have it in front of my face. That's ridiculous. But it's on like a arm, like a metal contraption, so it's not something I can fix in a couple of minutes. You can boost the mic with streaming software normally. I'm on OBS. Have you got any tips for that? Is Conser playing? Conser's got a really good chance of playing, yeah. You could be good with him. Thoughts on Trossard, please? It's risky. Could be Martinelli playing instead. But I guess, you know, if Martinelli is carrying a small injury, are both of them going to play? Possibly. Depends if Marino plays as well. Where are these filters I can apply to my microphone then? Filters. Add. Oh yeah, okay, I see like gain and all of that stuff. Alright, well I'm not going to do it now. I'm not going to do it now. Alright, what have we got here? Damn, my man, it's Charlie from Malaga Airport. Firstly, get well soon. Thank you, man. Secondly, I still have Diogo Jota in my team. Is it time to replace him with Mbermo? Wait one more week, I would say. Starting to see a lot of bench-related questions. I think it might be time for the bench list. I think it might be time. Right, where are you, my beautiful bench list? The people need you. Let's go here. All right. Let me know what players you want included on the bench list and we can start adding them on. Is Trent worth keeping? I think so, yeah. Unless selling him could fund another move, then yeah, he's worth keeping. I know for a fact that if I put Saka on this list, people are going to be like, "What, is Saka starting then?" No. I would still start him ahead of, like, I'll put his full name, Calvert-Lewin. Would I actually play McNeil ahead of Calvert-Lewin? Probably. There we go. Why are you starting Smith Rowe ahead of Rodgers? Because home fixture, and I think he has a little bit more attacking impetus. Right, let's go down. You know what, though? Plus, like, Aston Villa just concede goals. Smith Rowe goes above Rodgers. Ola Aina can go at the bottom because he's a defender. Semenyo can go here. Robinson will probably go below. Put Murillo here. Davis, I would put above Aina. Would I play any of these players above Semenyo? To be fair, I maybe would. Konsa I don't mind. Oh my word, you've got a lot of suggestions, guys. Luis Diaz can go at the top. Make sure he's the right colour. Robertson, you start. Kanate would not be as keen, but still reasonably keen. Right, Brennan Johnson is going right to the top. Right, actually, we've got two B Johnsons, so we'll put Bren Johnson and Ben Johnson. Who, to be fair, might be better than some options. Right. HAVERTZ. I think that you put him in a similar category as Saka. Muniz, wow, he's going to the right to the bottom. Luis Diaz over Saka, yeah, but that's taking game time into consideration. Start Isak or Slanky. Start both. Make sure you start both. Thank you for everyone, by the way, sending me messages about my wellness. I do really appreciate it, guys. Thank you. I will hopefully be better within the next couple of days. Right. Dibbling. Is that rain? Oh my word. Alright, well, there's a lot of rain in the UK right now. Dibbling. Realistically, how likely would I be to start Dibbling? I mean, I'd start him ahead of Semenyo, but he wouldn't be going super high. So Everton defenders over Robinson. You just said Aston Villa concede goals. I don't understand the connection. I think both Fulham and Aston Villa will score in that game. But I think Aston Villa are more likely to keep a clean sheet of the two. Or do I think that? Yeah, I do. I do think that. But I think Smith Rowe is more likely to be involved in a Fulham goal than Rodgers is to be involved in an Aston Villa goal. So that kind of, I think that's, hopefully that explains that logic. Right, Wood would go higher than a lot of these guys. Muniz is already on there. He's at the bottom. Delap, people are asking for Delap. I think Delap would have to go in the Calvert-Lewin Vardy area. He has got the form a little bit more than the other guys, though, so I'm going to put him slightly higher. Mikalenko might be worth a pump. Maybe here? Is Luis Diaz not worth a sell to Spurs mid? Yeah, if you want to. I don't think it's essential. I think he'll start, by the way, for the record. And obviously Chelsea are missing Cucurella and Fofana. So it could be advantage Liverpool there. Right, any other big players that need to go on here? Raul Jimenez and Wout Fass. Jimenez again can go in this big load of play. I would maybe put him slightly lower because he's not on penalties. And the fixture is a little bit more difficult for him compared to the other teams. Who else have we got here? A few people asking for Welbeck, who I think I would probably... Excuse me, I need to put the mask back on, clearly. Alright, come on, Dan. Not long now. 25 minutes till deadline. And then we can get back in bed. Alright, who was I going to put in? Welbeck. It's weird. All of these forwards are just kind of in the same area. I would maybe put Welbeck... is it Newcastle at home? Newcastle at home? Yeah, they are. That does drop Welbeck down a little bit. Maybe here. The thing is, in this area, there's very little to split any of these players. So you got to do a bit of guesswork. Ait Nori, yeah, there's no shot I'd play Ait Nori this week. And Wout Fass, people ask for as well. I'm going to put Greaves with Ben Johnson. Would I start Wout Fass? Probably not. Maybe somewhere around here. Foden. I'm not putting Foden in. If you have Foden, you play him. Borlak says, sorry it's off topic, but DM'd you in Twitter with OBS mic set up. Oh, thank you, man. I'll have a look and we'll see what the quality's like. If not, I might just move the microphone so it's like nearer to my face, because the quality needs to be good as well. I don't just want to pump up the noise. I'm worried that might make it sound pretty bad. Not that you want to hear me particularly well, like days like today. Son, if you have Son, you play him. Like players like Son and you know anyone who costs more than like 8 million, you just play them no matter what the fixture. You never bench them. So I don't really think they're worth going in. Even like Vermo, like 7.5 and above, they're players you start every week. The rotation players are those like slightly cheaper, mostly 6.5 and under players. So I know people are putting in Burmo in, but I mean like he is like an 100% start. Van der Ven seems popular as well. Okay, let's throw him on there. Okay, so Van der Ven, I wouldn't mind playing him. Would I maybe play him above some of these other guys? The thing is, he has better clean sheet odds, but he doesn't have as much attacking potential as like Robertson and Davis. I think I am going to put him above regardless, though. Oh, that is a very big and orange super chat from Nikhil. Let's see here. Have 3 free transfers. Option 1, Saka to Son now, and Trent and Johnson to Aït-Nouri and Palmer at Gameweek 9. I don't mind that. To be fair, I'd want to keep. I don't want to keep Brandon Johnson in Gameweek 9 though, so I don't know if I would do that. And Trent is fine after Gameweek 9. Gameweek 10 onwards, Trent has got a nice little period of 3 games, so I don't know if I'd want to sell him. Saka to Son, not keen on either. So I don't think I like option 1. Option 2, Roland Saka to Palmer Gameweek 9. That I prefer. Yeah. I prefer waiting this week because I think if Saka starts, he's fine for this week. Trent and Johnson are players I'd like to own over the next, well, up until game week 12 for Trent, at least. And maybe 11 would be the last week for Brennan Johnson. So these are not players I'd like to remove, really. So, no, would not do it. Stick with what you got. Callum says, do you think it's worth considering selling Salah? I think it's worth considering, but maybe more like next week. Like Salah to Palmer next week could work if you really want to. But no, Salah, I think Salah is fine for this week, particularly as there's no Cucurella. I think we should be good. Why do we need Foden on the bench list? If you have Foden, you're going to play him. This is bizarre. Of course you play Foden if you have him. Do you want me to put Haaland on there as well? I mean, yeah, presumably you've just bought Foden. And now you're questioning whether you should start him or not. Craziness. Absolute craziness. You skipped a bunch of older super chats, did I? Sorry, guys. My head is not quite there today. Let's give this a go. Let's see if we can find them. So, Shaker Beck says, hey, Dan, should I do Semenyo to Hudson-Odoi? I would not make that transfer personally. Just try and bench Semenyo if you can. But Hudson-Odoi would not be a player I'd be looking at. Sophie says, replace HAVERTZ with Solanke or bank my transfer. It depends on the longer-term plan. I think I'm going to keep HAVERTZ, but Solanke is the best replacement by a long shot. I think certainly Solanke, he does have higher potential than HAVERTZ. I can't lie. To a point, maybe it is worth doing, but it's tough. That's a really tough one. It's one I'm maybe more comfortable telling other people to do than doing myself. Marcus says Diaz to Brennan or Son and downgrade Trent. You can maybe do Diaz to Brennan Johnson, but I don't think it is 100% necessary. Son or Madison, we answered that. And I think that is all of the super chats. And now we've got a new one from Shegan who says, Semenyo to McNeil or Saka to Foden and Semenyo to Johnson for a -4. Oh, I don't love any of it, really. The thing is, I like Semenyo in general as a pick, and he's a player I'd want back in game week. Probably 11. So I don't think he's worth selling, really, generally. And I don't love the Saka to Foden move, if I'm totally honest. If De Bruyne comes back next week, that could go very, very wrong. Foden is not a player I'm looking at personally. And I think if there was no Saka injury, I don't think many people would be looking at Foden this week. To be totally honest. Oh, should I do HAVERTZ to Solanke? Should I look at predicted points? I know they're going to be skewed. And there's nothing in it between Solanke and HAVERTZ. There's really not very much in it. Maybe we stick with our guns. Maybe we stick here. Plus, if I keep HAVERTZ for this week, it does open up some other opportunities for me. But I think it depends. Yeah, it's really because I have a strategy. I don't think I can really afford to. I mean, I could get rid of HAVERTZ to Solanke. I could. But I don't know. Any news on Saka? Let me check through my trusted sources. I mean, like, actually, let me be totally honest here. Like, nobody is going to know if Saka is starting or not when they play at 5:30 UK time. It's the late kickoff. Saka might not even know if he's starting or not. So we're not going to get any definitive news. At this point, you have to just decide whether you want to take the risk or not. I was hoping we might get some news about whether he is indeed at the team hotel or not. But that's if we do get that, which is getting more and more unlikely. If you've got bench cover, I think you just stick with Saka and hope for the best. Akash says selling Luis Diaz for a Spurs asset. Should it be Maddison or Johnson? Can't weigh Johnson's lower price plus form versus Maddison minutes and better XGI. I would just go for Johnson, to be honest. Paradis says starting Saka first on bench, Semenyo or Aina, and why? Should we cheat and just look at who has the higher predicted points? We can get rid of the bench list now, can't we? Come on, show me what you got. It's lagging today. Right, 4.4, 3.2. I think that answers your question. Now, I would back the attacker. Do prefer to back the attacker. Where does Sancho fall on the list? Pretty low. Chelsea attackers wouldn't be super high unless they're Palmer. Rodgers or Smith. I take the bench list off screen for 1 second and all questions that were already on the bench list flood in. This is why we have the bench list. Lewis not on the list. Yeah, just play Lewis. Lewis, Gvardiol, Arsenal defenders. They're just so obvious to play. Play Jackson or Rodgers. That's more interesting, I suppose. All right, back you come. Jackson can go. I think you do start Jackson. But would you start him ahead of Rodgers? I don't. That's so tight. I actually can't decide. I think you probably do, right? Let's think. I really don't know where I'd put Jackson here. I'm just going to throw him in here. Sorry. Anmol says Yao for Vardy or Delap or Raul. Probably Raul Jimenez for the next few weeks. Spurs team news. We don't have any. We don't usually get Spurs team news, to be honest. Is Chris Wood a sell? No. No, he's not. Captain Saka or Salah? Oh, definitely Salah. Where would Maddison be on the bench list? He wouldn't even be on the bench list. There's certain players, like, I don't even know why these guys are chilling on the bench list. They shouldn't be on here. Neither should Maddison, because they're just so obvious plays. Same with Arsenal defenders, City defenders. Haaland, you know, whatever. Trent, you start every single game week no matter what. FPL Mate, will you do Salah for Foden? No. No, I would never do that. Well, I say never. I wouldn't do it today. Anyway. Palmer for Foden? No, definitely not. No. Keane on the bench list? Keane might even play. Probably. Oh, wait, no, because Branthwaite's out again. So Keane might play. God, the bench list is getting so bloated these days. There's too many options. If you have Keane, you maybe play him. Let's just throw him alongside Mikalenko. In fact, let's put them side by side. Thoughts on Son and Saka? No, I don't really like it. I don't really like it. I'm not as hyped on Son or Foden, to be fair, as a lot of other people seem to be. I'm not sold on either player. Maybe that's personal preference, but Foden, when De Bruyne's back next week, Foden has the same problem as he had before. And Son is when Solanke's on the pitch, Son is playing so wide, there's next to no goal threat from him. You'll get an occasional assist, but he's not even having opportunities to take shots, or at least he had. So far this season, when Son has played on the wing, it's like one shot per game, and not even from dangerous areas either. Saw news that KDB is back. Well, he's back in training, but I don't think he's ready to start this week. So we're probably looking at next game week for De Bruyne. You think Garnacho will play? I'm going to say yes. Let's say yes. Nobody knows if Saka's going to play. Saka probably doesn't know if Saka's going to play, because the game is not for another, 7 hours? Jota or Diaz? I guess Jota? Do we need to put Jota on the bench list? Let's throw him on. Hopefully that's everything and everyone. Any news on Son? Let me see if I can find anything. Doesn't look like it. Smith Rowe and Rodgers are already on the bench list. Are you on medication now? I'm not, no. I probably should be. I will be when I finish the stream. Actually, no, let's have some paracetamol. I think I've earned it. FPL discomforts here. I knew my moves made you feel ill. Didn't think triple captain Haaland would be this impactful on your health. Sorry, mate. Well, there you have it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why you were triple captain Haaland when he has a better fixture at home with De Bruyne next week. Are you that impatient, Kieran? Evan Nielsen on the bench list, please. He is very deep on the bench list. Put him alongside Semenyo. You wouldn't be like looking to start him, really. Is Lewis good for the long run? Really difficult to say. He's fine for now, at least. RB says, planned wildcard for 12. Do I transfer Saka or Havertz for a Spurs asset now if Smith Rowe is my current bench option? If you're definitely wildcarding in game week 12, then I would sell Havertz for Solanke. If I was definitely wildcarding in 12, I would be selling my Havertz to Solanke right now. But I'm not definitely doing that anymore. So, yeah. Should I switch Rodgers for McNeil? Probably not. Will you change your vice captain? He's on Saka at the moment. No, I don't think I will, though. Show team gangs here. We can show the team. Thing is, every time I close down the bench list, people start asking a lot of bench-related questions again. There you go. Is Savinho going to play? I'm not confident. Ollie says, do you think Saka to De Bruyne next week is a real option? Wildcarding 12 to get Saka back in. Good question. Good question. Right, fine, I'll change my vice captain to... I don't even know who I'd change it to. Big Brian. There you go. Would I do Saka to De Bruyne next week? If we know for 100% that he's starting, then yeah, possibly. Yeah. I don't love it, but I understand the appeal for sure. I do understand the appeal. Choose one, Pinnock, Greaves or Keane. Probably Pinnock. When are you wildcarding if not in 12? The answer is I don't know. I just basically figured out this week that I don't need to wildcard in 12. I can actually get my ideal game week 12 team with just the use of a couple of free transfers, which is quite nice. Surprised to see Luis Diaz as one of the most transferred out players. Am I missing something? He scored 1 point last game week and people panic. Same with player like Robertson and Smith Rowe. They you know, a player gets benched for 1 week and everyone assumes they're going to get benched. Well, everyone who maybe doesn't who isn't as, I guess, as much of an FPL nerd will just assume that if a player's benched once, then they're going to get benched every week. But usually, if a player is benched, it's actually a positive sign for their minutes. If they are one of the main, well, part of the best 11, I suppose. Ricky says, hi, I'm up late. Is there any news on Saka? We think he's with the team. Right, deadline is in 3 minutes. Holy smokes. We're almost there, guys. Anything last minute? I'm just going to take the risk, man. I think he's gonna. I think we're good to go. I think Saka's gonna start. I don't know it, but if not, then I've got Rodgers. See what happens. All right. I think we're pretty much towards the end here. Final questions. Start Porro or Rodgers. Back the attacker. Start Eze or Murphy. Very game week 1, I know. Probably start Eze. I don't think Murphy will start this week. Thoughts on Saka to Foden or Palmer this week? No, don't really like it. I think honestly I just keep Saka. But that's because I have a bench cover though. Do you think Saka comes on if he doesn't start? No, I don't. I think he either plays or doesn't play. Should I start Jackson or Mikalenko? Oh, definitely back the attacker there. Start to Lap or Johnson? Johnson. If you've got a Semenyo on your bench and you're happy with that, then that's fair enough. All right. Well, actually, I was going to say any final questions, but there is no time for any more questions because the deadline has passed. The deadline has passed. Well, there we have it, guys. We're locked in. We are locked in for yet another game week. I'm already slightly regretting not doing the HAVERTZ to Solanke move. But I don't know. We'll see what happens there. It's going to be an interesting game week for me, for sure. I think the wild carders may finally steal a march on me this week, which is to be expected. Well, we got 15 minutes until the Spurs team news. Can I be bothered to stay on stream for that long, or do I want to go back to bed? I'll be honest with you guys, I kind of want to go back to bed. So, is it okay if I rest, guys? Is it okay if I go get some rest? It sounds like it is. All right, guys. I'm gonna do it. The job's done. The stream is done. We did some good work today. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. Do leave a like before you go. I will stream, assuming I don't get worse, which I don't think I will. I think I'll get better from here. I will stream tomorrow after the Liverpool-Chelsea game. So about 6:30 UK time, I'll be back. I'll stream again, unless it's really bad, which I don't think it will be. So, guys, thank you so much for watching today. Good luck this game week. I hope you all do really, really well, as long as you don't do better than me. But enjoy the football, and FPL is back, the Premier League is back, and I will probably sleep through most of it. I'll see you later, mates. Bye-bye.